the show. I'm your host, the Comic Book Pusher, and you're watching the Shredded Edition. Comic book fans, thank you for joining us today on this very first episode of the Shredded Edition. Before we get into the show, I want to take a moment to explain what we're doing here. If you watch the trailers that we've been putting out on YouTube and on our Facebook page, to give you a little teaser about the Shredded Edition, you probably have a pretty good idea about what's about to happen here. But if you missed all those things, let me tell you what's about to happen. Comic book collectors like you and me, and I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book pusher for 15 years, right in the space here at the Comics Club in Brandon, but I've been pushing comic books for 30 years as the Comics Club Incorporated. Now, I love comic books. I've loved them all my life, but one of the things that you and I as comic book collectors love is something unique, something different, something that only we can own, something that, or is only a few of us actually have. Something like a 1 in 50 variant like this is, a 1 in 50 variant. You love to own something like that, or something that's a one of a kind. This is a one of a kind because it's a one of a kind sketch that was done on this cover, and it has a certificate of authenticity, and that's something that we find very important. The certificate that tells us, hey, that is the official item from this organization that sold it to me, and I'm the only one that has it, or this proves that it's real. Signed editions like this one, the convention special, black and white sketch edition. These kind of limited edition collectibles are something that we all love, especially when they come with a certificate, especially when they're signed, like this one by Bendis. And we also love things like this, ones that are hermetically sealed, that have a grade on them, that we can say, hey, look at this is guaranteed that this is in this condition. And that's one of the things we love about collecting, the uniqueness of some of the items that we can obtain. And when I decided to do the Shredded Edition, that's what I had in mind, something that we collectors could have that nobody else has, a one-of-a-kind item. The cool thing about a Shredded Edition, which we're going to see created right before your eyes here on the show, one of the coolest things about it is that it's going to be a unique item that only you are going to be able to own. Nobody else will have a Shredded Edition like yours. It will be one of a kind, made right before your eyes, tied into this episode. And that is the key. When we've created it, after the show, you'll be able to bid on that on eBay, and if you win, the item that you'll have will be tied into this show, episode 1. This item was created here, and you'll be able to come back and say, hey, look, bring your family, bring your friends, your neighbors, your children, your grandchildren. This could become an heirloom for your family. This item will have been created right here on the show, and you'll be able to share it, this experience of having it created. That's the one that you own. This is the one that I got that was made right here by the Comic Book Pusher on this episode of the Shredded Edition. It will be a unique, one-of-a-kind item that nobody else will own but you. All right, let's get on with the show. Welcome back, comic book fans. Now let's have a look at what we have for you on this episode of the Shredded Edition. And now for the reveal. This is our very first Shredded Edition. It is Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 1. This book was part of a 6-part series that changed the entire face of the DC comic universe. It was published April 1985 by DC Comics. If you haven't read this one, you should. It's epic. It changed the entire DC universe, and it's about to become a Shredded Edition. This is the case that Shredded Editions come in. They're quite beautiful and crystal clear, so you can see all the shreddings inside. Comes with a certificate of authenticity, signed by me, the Comic Book Pusher. On the other side, you have an image of the comic book that will become a Shredded Edition. In this case, Crisis on Infinite Earths, as you can see. Our shredding machine, which will do all the tough labor. We take the case and put it inside. And we take the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is about to become our first shredded edition. It is about to be in crisis because it's about to be shredded. And here we are, and there it goes. Our very first shredded edition. This is a very unique collectible. Only one of these will ever be done. As you can see, the shreddings are inside. And this makes for a quite wonderful collectible and a quite wonderful gift. We also have a seal that shows that this shredded edition was done on episode 1 of the shredded edition. There you have it. Our very first shredded edition. We'll be right back with the next one. And here's our next one. X Factor number 1 by Marvel Comics. X Factor number 1 was published in February 1986. This will become our very next shredded edition. And here's the case for X Factor. As always, the cases are beautifully crystal clear so you can see every shred inside. With an image of the actual comic book that is inside. This is not just a stock photo, this is an actual image of the comic book that is becoming a shredded edition right here on the show. So the case goes inside. Now, this will make a great gift for any comic collector for their birthday, anniversary present, for your husband, your wife. X Factor is about to get X'd out in the shredding machine as it becomes a shredded edition, and there it goes. Oh, lots of shreds in there. X Factor was fully loaded. Now that is quite beautiful. That is a quite beautiful shredded edition, which gets my seal of approval. And how beautiful is that, right? Keep in mind, people, these are available after the show to be auctioned off on eBay immediately following the show. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about these shredded editions in the comments. Let us know. We'd like to know your opinion about what we think is a great gift and a unique one of a kind. There will never be another X Factor shredded edition, and there's never going to be another Crisis on Infinite Earths number 1 shredded edition. These are going to be unique, one of a kind items for you. So only one per collector. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends, tell them, hey, come and look and see what's happening over here. These unique shredded editions are being created right before our eyes. And subscribe so you know, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next shredded edition episodes are going to be coming up. So here we go. This is our third one of the day, and it is, wait, I've forgotten what it is. What is it? Now I know what it is, and you're about to find out. It is Savage Dragon number 1 by Image Comic Books. Savage Dragon was published in June 1993, and here we go. See you later, Savage Dragon. You're about to become a shredded edition for us. Here we have the case, which I forgot to put the case inside. That's okay. We're prepared for that contingency. We can put it all in right before your eyes right here. Makes it a little easier when it's inside of there. So we'll try to remember to put it all in there next time. This isn't trickery. This is the actual comic book that's going in there. And we're not going to let you miss any of it. We're going to have all the shreddings in there for you. That's another quite full shredded edition case filled with the remains of Savage Dragon number 1. Look at that. Now how gorgeous is that? That will look fabulous on anybody's collectible shelf, along with all your other statues and other collectibles. Now that is beautiful. And the certificate, as you can see, is signed by me. Tells you that it was done right here on episode 1, the shredded edition. and we'll be right back with the next one.
Hey comic book fans, I have a joke for you. When is a comic book not a comic book? Later in the show, I have the answer for you.
And here we are with our next Shredded Edition comic book. And the reveal is Justice League #1 from the New 52. Justice League is a DC comic, and here we are. Turning it into a Shredded Edition for you. And that's going to make a great gift for yourself or any Justice League fan. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern. And once again, I neglect to put the case in. Doesn't make it really a big difference whether the case is in there or not. Just makes it easier to gather a lot of the shreddings. But we'll get them all in there for you. Hey, someone remind me to do this next time. You see, we're showing you the whole process because we wanted you to see exactly how yours was done, so that when you win yours on eBay and you come back and show your friends and your family and your children, your grandchildren, hey, this was the episode of the Shredded Edition where mine was created. And that is a beautiful Shredded Edition of Justice League #1. Get its official seal on there. Bring your friends and family back and say, hey, look, this is see this beautiful Shredded Edition on my shelf? Let me show you the episode that it was created on. And nobody else but you, the owner, who I'm talking to right now, who has won it on eBay, or had it bequeathed to them, or bought it from somebody who won it from on eBay originally. Whichever one of those you are, you're watching this show sometime in the future, and you're showing your friends that the Comic Book Pusher's talking right to you. You made a great purchase, you have a wonderful gift, a great heirloom for your family, and this is going to look gorgeous on your shelf. And there we go. They're lining up quite beautifully over here, these Shredded Editions. And we'll be right back with another one for you. Alright, here we are with another Shredded Edition for you. And it is John Carter, Warlord of Mars, with a very beautiful cover by J. Scott Campbell. We're going to get the case inside of there this time. Makes it easier to gather up all the shreds. So here we go. Mr. Campbell, nothing personal, but this comic needs to become a Shredded Edition. And there it goes. Your artwork's beautiful, never to be seen on this cover again, unless somebody decides to try to tape it all back together. And by the way, if any of you do decide to do such a thing, I would love to see the end result of that. But if you ever did, hey, it's yours to do it as you please. We'd love to see you do it. Maybe do a video of it. Put it up on YouTube. Look at that. All the shreddings inside. The wonderful photo of the actual comic that's inside of there. And our seal. Our golden seal that proves that this was done on episode 1 of the Shredded Edition right before your eyes. And this is a wonderful gift. And that is a gorgeous thing. And that is our 5th Shredded Edition ever on this very first episode of the Shredded Edition, and we'll be right back with another one for you. This is the part of the show we're going to feature a few products from our Comics Club Pop Emporium online, and you can get a link to that in our video description down below. And the first one is this fine product. As you can see, it's a lot of fun. You can get this in a t-shirt, you get it in a cup, you get it in a button, you get it in so many different ways in our Pop Emporium. Go have a look. And then there's this great product. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? These are designs created by our own design wizards right here at the Comics Club and presented online on our Comics Club Pop Emporium. And then there's also this one. And those are the ones we're going to feature this time. In every episode, we're going to feature new products from our Pop Emporium. But go have a look. There's some really great stuff. You'll have a lot of fun. Tell your friends about it. Share it. Hey, comic fans, we have 3 comic books in line to become Shredded Editions, and you get to decide which one. That's coming right up. So, comic book fans, when is a comic book not a comic book? When it's a graphic novel. My wife calls that dad humor or something. I don't know why. This is the part of our show where we want to include you, the viewer, and give you the opportunity to vote on the comic book that you'd like to see turned into a Shredded Edition. You can make your choice down in the comments. The first one we have is Blue Beetle #1 from the Rebirth line of DC comic books. Next one is The Sentry variant edition #1 from Marvel Comics. And the next one is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, #1. Make your choices down below. The ones that we get the most response on, we will make it a shredded edition in one of our upcoming shows. So here we go with this next one. It is Batwoman 0. Batwoman 0 from DC Comics was done in January 2011. We're going to put the case inside. Make it easy to gather up the shreddings for you. Those crystal clear, beautiful cases that'll show you the shreddings inside each one. And there we go, Kate Kane, Batwoman, 0 issue. Beautiful cover. Love the red, black, and white combination there. You know, maybe you'll want to own multiples of them. Maybe you'll beat out everybody else and you'll own all of the shredded editions yourself. We'll also be having shredded edition choices on Facebook for you, and you'll be able to make your voice heard of what you want to see done as a shredded edition in one of our polls on Facebook. So be sure and go check that out. But we also want to see in the comments below, we want to see what you think. We want to see which ones you'd like to see as a shredded edition. Do you have a particular comic book that you'd like to see the Comic Book Pusher create a shredded edition of? Just let us know down in the comments below. Is our 7th. Is that your lucky number, 7? Oh, it's your lucky number. Hey, that's pretty cool. So this is number 7, lucky number 7. And if 7 is your lucky number, you won't want to miss bidding on this one at auction on eBay right after the show. And even if 7 is not your lucky number, you'll be lucky to own one of these because they're one of a kind. So we're right back with another one for you. All right, fans, I have to admit that this one is very near and dear to me. And even though I will not be able to bid on it because our policy is we can't bid on our own auctions, but this one is very special to me. When I was growing up, this was my favorite character and still remains to this day. And this particular issue was the comic book that got me interested in comics again as an adult. And so I'm very excited about this particular shredded edition, and I hope you are too. And here it is, Superman #1. This Superman #1 was done in 1987 by January 1987, so it really came out in 1986. And it was done by John Byrne and Terry Austin. We're introduced to a Superman who never had a life as Superboy. After the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the DC Universe is forever changed, and now this copy of Superman #1 will be forever changed because it will become a shredded edition. And this almost hurts. This almost hurts to do it. You don't want to forget to put it in the case because this one is very special and near and dear to me. It's my favorite superhero and always has been and always will be. My wife is a Batman fan, so we're a house divided. Superman, strange visitor from another planet, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman. He changed the course of mighty rivers. Bends steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, with the glasses and everything. Mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, the Daily Planet. Fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and for the whole world, really. So here we go. Sorry, Superman. Sorry to have to do that to you. My childhood hero, my adult hero, the whole world, the greatest hero that ever was, the very first comic book superhero, the one that started it all way back in Action Comics #1. You have become our next shredded edition. This is going to be a beautiful addition to anybody's collection. Look at that. Is that not a gorgeous thing? Bring back your friends and family to show them this. Bring back your children and say, hey, look, here's my shredded edition being created right here on this show, the shredded edition by that crazy guy, the Comic Book Pusher. And there it is. We're not done yet. We still have a couple more for you, so stick around. Okay, comic book fans, here we are for our next shredded edition comic book. And here comes the big reveal. Everybody watching, here we go. And it is Silver Surfer #1. It's going to be our next Shredded Edition comic book. Now this comic book by Marvel Comics was published in July 1987 into our shredding machine. And Silver Surfer is now a Shredded Edition. And somebody needs to remind me to put the case in there, guys, to make it easier for me. I forgot again, fans. That's okay. We're going to get every shred of this right in the container for you. Look at those beautiful shreds in there. Now, I love comic books as much as anybody else. I've been pushing comic books on the world for 30 years. But you know, it was time for the Shredded Edition to come. Look at that, nice and full and packed full of shredded Silver Surfer #1. That's a real nice one. You're gonna love bidding on this one, guys. How beautiful is that? We'll get our official seal on here. It shows that it was done on episode 1 of the Shredded Edition that you're watching now. So you can come back anytime you want and watch your Shredded Edition being created, or your friends, or your families. Like I say, it could become a family heirloom for you. And there it is, Silver Surfer #1, the Shredded Edition. And it'll be up for auction right after the show. If you're enjoying the show, if you're having a good time, we'd love you to hit that share button down there. Subscribe to our channel so you know when the next episode's coming. And we'll be right back. I think anybody, even people who are not into comic books, is going to recognize this, because it has been the core of most of the Marvel movies for the last few years, and everybody will recognize this book immediately. And there it is, the Infinity Gauntlet #1, starting in July 1991 by Marvel Comics. This copy is going to become a Shredded Edition. So Thanos, there's one power in the universe you can't withstand, and that is the comic book pusher's shredding machine. And there you go. Hasta luego there, Thanos. One of these days I want to get this down pat to where I actually remember to put this case in and make it easier on myself. But that's okay. We won't miss a single shred for you. We'll get it all in there. Well, this one's a very shreddy one too. Look at that. I see those soul gems and the power gems, and time gem, all the gems falling in place. Wow, Thanos didn't want to go easy. He didn't want to go down at all. Look at that. This is going to be a tough one to fit in there. That was a thick one. Wow, look at that. This will be quite full. That's going to look gorgeous. These are one of a kind. Nobody else but you will own one if you're the winner at auction immediately following the show. And if you're the lucky winner of this Infinity Gauntlet Shredded Edition, the only one in the universe, congratulations to you. There you have it, people. Infinity Gauntlet Shredded Edition, one of a kind, the only one in existence, the only one that will ever be. We'll be right back. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a great time shredding Shredded Editions with you. If you like the show, please do share with your friends. Please give us a thumbs up. Please comment and tell us what you think. Thank you for joining us. And remember, read. It brings out the hero in you. We'll see you next time on the Shredded Edition.